So, today I'm going to talk about a problem from a 22-year-old male who says that his girlfriend is not interested in sex with him. Let me first read out the whole problem word for word, okay? So, I'm in a relationship with a girl. We both love each other very much. We are together since childhood. She's not too vocal, she do not express her love to me, but I do always and expect the same. I have no real friends but only she, as we are together since childhood. The main problem is that she don't like any kind of physical relationship. She's not abnormal, but she's not interested in that. I respect her, but also believe that physical relation is a good way to express love to each other. She has feelings, she agrees for everything, but gets extremely sad, which I can't bear, so I don't go physical. I have my own needs in which she can't help me as she don't like those things, but she says she will do everything after marriage, but unwillingly. It sounds very bad. I get confused what to do. Please help. So I received this problem through a form that I've shared in the comments below. So if you have any problem, you can share as well. So now let's get to the answer to the problem. Let me first tell you that I'm not here to give you a clear answer that go do this, go do that. That's not what I do. And if anybody tries to do that, that's not the best thing for you. What I'll rather do is I'll discuss some core points, some ideas, some principles, and I'll discuss the problem from various angles. And I'll also discuss some extremes that you can avoid. You can take all of that information and make your own decision. So the first point here is that you are not alone. Right now you're in a relationship where there is no physical intimacy, and there's a possibility you could be thinking like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why is my relationship so bad? Why do I have to go through this? So let me first tell you, you are not alone. Millions of couples go through this. I don't know the percentage, but I know for a fact that millions of people out there simply don't have a high need for intimacy, sexual intimacy, and their relationships end up being completely sexless or with very low frequency. And I wanted to point this out because you should not feel alone, because that makes the problem even worse when you feel that, okay, not only this problem exists, but it only exists for me. That's not the case. So from the problem, what I gathered was that you both have not engaged in any physical intimacy. And I want to address the point where you feel hopeless because she says that she will do it after marriage, but still unwillingly. To that point, I would say that you don't really have to take it at face value, because right now when she thinks of sex or physical intimacy, it does not seem interesting to her. But even she does not know how she might feel after experiencing it. By the way, there is no guarantee that she will like it, but there is a probability that she might. And this is something that you simply cannot understand without experiencing it first. So I just want to point out that you don't have to take her words very seriously. There is still hope that after marriage, once you do get physically intimate, she might actually enjoy it and things can get better. So have some hope as well. Third point I would say is you have a right to negotiate, but make sure that you don't go too far. You've already written in the problem that you respect her choices, and when she gets too sad, you don't do it, you don't push further. So that's the right thing. What you're asking for is legitimate. Wanting to have physical intimacy with your girlfriend is completely normal, it's completely okay. But if it doesn't happen, what length can you go to? And that length is just healthy negotiation. Negotiation in the sense you can tell her your needs, what you're going through, which you probably already have. You can even ask her if you can do something for her which she wants. Maybe you have done that too. But what I'm pointing out here is you have to stay in this healthy negotiation zone only. Don't start pushing her, don't start pressurizing her. Don't make the mistake of incessant negotiation, which basically amounts to forcing someone. And always remember that your negotiation can fail, which it already is, but it's okay. Because if you're not prepared for a rejection, or if you're not prepared for a disagreement, if you're not prepared for a failure, then it means that you just want authority over somebody. If you want compliance at any cost, that's not negotiation, that's authority. So before negotiation, always be prepared for the fact that it might fail. Fourth point I would say, take a full view of the relationship. When you are into a big problem, and I would agree that this is a big problem, when you are going through a big problem, it's common that it becomes everything for you. It takes over the whole relationship, and that's irrational too. Your relationship is more than just physical intimacy, right? There is so much more to it. She's your friend. You've known her since childhood. You are very attached to her. So there's clearly love, there's friendship, there's attachment. You probably have dreams of having a life with her. We are born with a negativity bias where we pay more attention to what's wrong, what's not working, and we can become completely blind to what all good there is. And it can become a vicious cycle because the relationship looks bad, then you feel dissatisfied, and with dissatisfaction, you're going to behave in some dysfunctional behaviors. You're going to fight more, you're going to be angry, disappointed. That will affect her, and that will affect the relationship even more, and that will lead to even more dissatisfaction. That's why It's a constant task to look for what's good here, what's going right, what will I miss if I didn't have her, and actually pushing yourself to be grateful for it. Let that happiness sink in. So what I want you to do is have a full view of the relationship, what's good, what's working, and what's not working. And then ask yourself the question, is this problem, the lack of physical intimacy, is this problem so big that I'm ready to let go of all the good with it? And I would not recommend that either. You can think of it like this. Let's say you do get married to her, and 3 years after your marriage, she develops some disease because of which she's unable to have sex altogether. Would you just leave her? You'll still be able to enjoy the relationship, wouldn't you? So, your mind is an amazing organ. It can adapt to just about anything. So, what I want you to do is prepare yourself for the worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario here? The worst case scenario is that you will never have sexual satisfaction, that she will always do it unwillingly, and the frequency and the quality will never match up to what you want, that you'll never develop the sexual chemistry that you always dreamed of. And I'm saying it's possible to even live with that reality as long as there are other good things going on in your life. And fifth point I would like to make is, you should not take this personally, or you should not put it on her. You should not blame her for it, because you might end up thinking that, does she not love me enough? Like, if other girlfriends are doing it, why is she not doing it? And if it means so much to me, why would she not make the effort? You can end up start questioning her love, questioning the whole relationship. But I must tell you a reality. Maybe it's not about her intention as well. Most probably it's because of her biological needs. Now, it's a reality that you take any two people, their biological need for physical intimacy, for sex, will be different. And when the difference is too big, it's just unfortunate, but that's a reality. And maybe that's the reality with you. You are two individuals with very different needs for sex. And if she has lower needs, she cannot help it. It's very, very biological in nature. So I must tell you, don't take it personally. Don't question her love or her intentions. So remember that biological gap will always be there, and that's a reality you have to accept. And sixth point is about her effort. Why is she not making an effort? Since there is a gap, it makes sense that she should make some effort and you should let go of some of your needs. Like, that seems like the ideal solution. But how would that come about? For that, please make sure that you secure the bonding between you two. The basic idea here is that her willingness to make an effort for you will come from the quality of the relationship, from the depth of the bond that you have, and from the reciprocity of compromises that you make for each other, right? If she really feels connected to you, if she really loves you, and she also understands that you do a lot for her, then her natural willingness to do anything for you will go up. And here I'm talking in a very general sense. In general, she would be willing to do things just for you. So if you want to maximize her willingness to make efforts, you have to make sure that the bond remains deep, the love remains secure, and you continue to have this open conversation about what are your needs. Her efforts might not come to your expectations, but there will be something. And the final point I want to make is about your needs. You could be thinking, I just have one life. I don't want to deprive myself of that pleasure. We haven't married yet. Why should I marry such a person? Why shouldn't I just walk away right now? Now, in your case, I know it's very difficult because like you said, she's your only friend and you've been with her since childhood. So leaving her would be like leaving a family member. In fact, that's actually easier. But that question can pop in your mind that, what about my needs? I'm just 22. Why do I have to make this sacrifice? So my answer to that is, yes, you are very right in asking that question. Technically, you're not born for any one person. There are no soulmates in the world. So if today you choose to break up because of this problem, that's also a perfectly valid decision. And I say that because this problem is a very unique problem in one sense, that this need, the need for physical intimacy, cannot be fulfilled with anybody else. Any other need that you have in life, for example, if you want to cook, if you want to go out to watch movies, if you want to play a video game with somebody, if you want to talk to somebody, if you want to share your feelings, if you want to travel in the world, you can pretty much name any need and you can find somebody else to fulfill that need. You can go to your friends, family members, or join some community. But when you are in a long-term monogamous relationship, at least a healthy one, you cannot fulfill this need from somebody else. You have to rely just on your partner to fulfill that need. And that makes this problem very, very difficult. So I want you to question yourself really hard on this. If you marry her, be prepared for the worst case scenario, otherwise don't. Because otherwise there could be hell ahead of you. One example would be, you marry her, you try for a few years, you never get satisfied, and then you go outside your marriage. You have an affair or affairs. If you go down that path, that can potentially ruin the relationship, destroy her life, destroy your life, and even your children's life if you have them. And for such a scenario, I would say it's better to break up right now than have an affair. So if you go ahead with the relationship, be prepared for anything, and only go ahead if you're determined that I can stay committed and loyal to her no matter what. This video might have given you some clarity, or it might have added to your confusion. I don't know, but at least this will stimulate some thinking, and that's very important. Thank you for listening. Good luck. Everyone has their own unique share of problems in life that make them unhappy, sad, irritated, angry, disappointed, resentful, or dissatisfied with life itself. Having problems is normal, nothing to be ashamed of. But if those problems become serious or overwhelming, you must stop and take help. By taking help, I mean talk about whatever you're going through to a counselor, to a therapist. Trust me, it's helpful. You can find a counselor on your own, or you can come to us. But please take help. If you don't, it not only affects your mental health but also your physical health. In Shridhar Life School, we have a team of psychologists who specialize in counseling. Collectively, we have over 1500 hours of experience in counseling just within this organization. Here are some feedbacks from our clients. If you wish to take counseling from us, go to our website page www.shridharlifeschool.com/counsel. Click on this link and fill this application form. We will get back to you soon.